Welcome to The Explainer. We're going to dive into what happens when communication just completely implodes, and we'll see how one single verifiable fact can be the only thing that cuts through the noise, whether that's in a tense family argument or a decade-long legal nightmare.
Okay, let's kick things off with a question you've probably heard, right? It's that classic line from Christmas Vacation. And on the surface, it's pretty simple. It's just a funny, confused question from a sweet old aunt.
But what if there's more to it? What if this seemingly random, out-of-left-field question is actually a secret weapon? A kind of brilliant way to dodge a conversational bullet and completely take control of a really tough situation.
A question to cut chaos. And yeah, that's exactly what our source material gets into. This really isn't about Rusty or his naval career. It's about the incredible power you get when you demand a simple, provable fact, especially when someone's trying to drag you into a totally subjective, unwinnable fight.
Think about it like this. Imagine someone challenges you to define a word, like crazy. That's a trap, right? There's no right answer. Anything you say is going to get torn apart. But responding with, "Is Rusty still in the Navy?" Well, that's a genius power move. It just completely sidesteps the whole trap.
So how does this magic trick work? Well, first, you dodge the trap. You refuse to define something that's impossible to define. Second, you grab the steering wheel of the conversation by just breaking the flow. And third, this is the really crucial part, you pivot. You yank the whole discussion out of the murky waters of opinion and onto the solid ground of objective, verifiable fact.
The unspoken rules of talk. You know, to really get why this is so effective, we got to look at the hidden rules we all play by when we talk. There's actually a whole field of study for this. It's called pragmatics.
So what a word means is one thing. That's for dictionaries. Pragmatics is all about what a word does. What's its job in this exact moment? Is it trying to build you up? Is it trying to put you in your place? Is it a subtle dig? It's all about reading between the lines.
And we use this stuff all the time to pass judgment. You've got the direct approach, the verbal bulldozer, just raw and blunt. But then you've got the other side of the coin. You know, those phrases that are sweet as sugar on the surface, but are just dripping with condescension, like a well-placed "bless your heart."
So what happens when these unspoken rules get weaponized? When talking isn't about connecting anymore, but it's all about one person trying to control the other?
Well, in some relationships, communication turns into straight-up combat. The sources talk about how manipulators just thrive on pushing buttons, on getting a rise out of you. The goal is never understanding, it's always control. They'll use tactics like gaslighting, or something called DARVO, which stands for deny, attack, and reverse victim and offender. Basically, they flip the whole script to make it seem like they're the one being attacked.
You know, for anyone stuck in a situation like that, the sources point to something really powerful. Trying to reason with them or argue or fix the situation, it's usually a dead end. The real power, it says, comes when you just drop that expectation. It's about disengaging to protect your own sense of reality.
The system's 4 stories. Okay, so now let's scale this whole idea up. What happens when this kind of breakdown isn't just between 2 people? What if it's an entire system, an entire institution, telling a story that makes 0 sense?
Our sources lay out this incredible legal case that went on for a decade. State agencies were enforcing a child support order, taking money, the whole shebang. But when you actually look at the court's own official record, you find a legal impossibility. The entire fight, after 10 years, boils down to one simple, objective question. Where is the order?
Okay, look at this. This is the court's own logbook, its single source of truth, and it tells 4 completely contradictory stories about the exact same thing. It is pure legal quicksand. So which one is it? Is it the $1,028, or is it the decree that specifies no dollar amount? Or maybe it's the $1,128 the state was actually taking, or, and this is the real kicker, is it the court's final entry on the matter, where it explicitly states it was unable to enter support orders at all?
So that last entry, unable to enter support orders, it changes everything. In legal speak, it means the order was void ab initio, a total legal nullity. It's like it never existed in the first place. It was a phantom order.
And you have to understand, the consequences of chasing this phantom order weren't just some numbers on a spreadsheet. No, this was a full-blown human crisis with devastating real-world consequences.
The human cost was just staggering. It directly led to 527 days of documented homelessness for the father. That's over a year and a half of his life, gone, all based on an order that never legally existed.
And the financial damage? Immense. We're talking over $173,000, unlawfully seized, taken based on the authority of an order that the court's own record says it couldn't even create.
And then, in just the most heartbreaking twist, the instability caused by all this chaos meant that the very child the system was supposed to be protecting ended up homeless herself on her 19th birthday.
From Rusty to the record. So here it is. This is where the two stories snap together, the personal chaos and the systemic chaos, because it turns out the strategy for dealing with both is exactly the same.
You see the parallel here, right? In a personal fight, you escape the subjective trap by demanding a verifiable fact. Is Rusty still in the Navy? In a legal fight, you escape a legal phantom by demanding the verifiable record. Where is the order? It's the same move.
So you see, this isn't really about one movie quote or even one crazy legal case. It's about something much bigger, a universal strategy for finding solid ground when communication and systems just completely fall apart.
I mean, the source material just nails it here. When you are stuck in a chaotic story that feels like a choose-your-own-adventure book with no good options, the only way out is to find and relentlessly pursue that one single objective truth.
So in the end, it doesn't matter if you're up against a difficult person or a broken system. The power isn't in trying to argue with the chaos. The power is in finding that one simple, undeniable fact that can cut right through all the noise and finally let you write the last chapter.